What now happens on days 9 and 10? That again is second week. Now we'll follow the pattern that we've been following, component 1, component 2, component 3. Component 1 involves the blastocyst. Blastocyst more deeply embedded. There should be a penetration defect. The uterine epithelium, and this went in. As it went in, it created a crater and went in, so there should be a defect. But now we find the defect is closed by a fibrin plug. Component 2, trophoblast, has increased in size and volume, and which trophoblast? Predominantly the syncytium. And even in that syncytium, if the syncytium has become larger in volume, you find that there are vacuoles. You know what vacuoles are? Empty spaces. These empty spaces have made their appearance. Here and there you find empty spaces within that syncytium. Slowly, the empty spaces, the vacuoles become larger. When they become larger, you call it a lacuna. If it's a small empty space, we call it a vacuole, but becomes a larger empty space, we call it a lacuna. So there are multiple lacunae seen, and that is the reason this stage of development is called the lacunar stage of trophoblastic differentiation. Days 9 and 10, or the early second week development, is referred to as the lacunar stage of trophoblastic differentiation. Component 3, what happens? Germ disc remains bilaminar, but still already the amniotic cavity has made its appearance. So let us look at this picture now. Slightly different from what we had studied earlier. You find the cytotrophoblast here. You find the mitotic divisions that I was talking about. We don't see the mitosis directly here, but you find as a result of mitosis, you find there are many cells. Mitotic divisions will lead to multiplication of cells. So you find the cytotrophoblast, there are many cells and they are becoming part of the syncytio. Cells are divided and cells are given out, and these cells go and join the syncytio and become part of the syncytium. And the blastocyst, that's component 1, isn't it? The blastocyst is further embedded, more deeply embedded. And here is the penetration defect. But still here you find a fibrin plug, and this fibrin plug is closing it. Why should it be closed? If it is not closed, blood from maternal tissue can seep out here. It can keep flowing here and can cause damage. So this area gets closed by a fibrin coagulum. You find the trophoblast, especially the syncytial component, has become more and more larger and more voluminous, and there are empty spaces which are the vacuoles to start with, and the vacuoles have become the lacunae. Larger spaces will become lacunae. So trophoblastic lacunae appeared. And what is component number 3? You still find the embryoblast to be bilaminar. The hypoblast is present here. The epiblast is present here. And a clear-cut demarcation of the amniotic cavity can be noticed. And this is the amniotic layer. And this is the epiblast. You don't call this the epiblast any further. From here to here. Here to here is the epiblast, and this to this is the amnion or the amniotic layer, and this is the amniotic cavity. You also find something else here, isn't it? Some other structure has come into existence.